Good. Well, we'll just get started without Vince.
Okay.
Um, and if he shows up, he shows up. If not, we'll mock him
Just
until
join in.
he dies. Um, all right, let's get started. All right, you can hear me all good?
Yep. Was
You're not
it
here?
his choice?
No, it was mine.
Oh, okay. That would have made it even better.
Next week we're apparently discussing best horror movies ever. I don't have two good horror movies.
I don't think I have one.
I may have only watched two horror movies my entire life.
I'll probably just pick what's that movie with the Will Smith's kid After Earth or something.
Was that supposed to be a horror movie? That was just
Well,
bad
it was a horror. It was a horror movie.
All right, let's get started. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Threecast. I'm your host, Matthew Weber. I am joined by Mr. Ricky Williams.
What up? What up?
And we have not a clue where Vince is. He's off the grid. We were joking before we started recording that he's probably deported a student and is in witness protection because it turned out to be the mafia. It's probably true. Anyways, the date that we're recording is September 7th, 2016. Ricky, it's September already, dude. Christmas is like
I know.
tomorrow.
Don't remind me.
That's terrible. This year's almost over with already, and that's just, all right. So also, just to point this out, we've been doing this for 6 years. This week.
That's crazy.
I know.
Oh,
First of all, I understand we're not nearly as consistent at it as we once were. We used to do it every single week, but we're still going at this 6 years later. We've had some other hosts come and go. We had Karina for a while. We had Paul.
Yeah,
We had a couple guests a couple times, but the three of us just kind of stuck with it for 6 years. That's like
that'd be good. We should do a reunion next.
Oh man, I don't even. I haven't talked to either Karina or Paul in forever. Karina still follows me on Twitter.
Yeah, I messaged her on Twitter and she never answered back.
Yeah, I don't think she's on it that much. I think she only tweets about once a month. And Paul, I don't see him on Twitter anymore either. Every once in a while, I see something on Facebook because we're Facebook friends.
Yeah.
But he's in college, so he's really busy. But he got into religion, so apparently, those God people. All right. Anyways, so if
those
you
people with faith,
those religious people, how dare they get lives? Hallelujah. Anyways, if you haven't understood that the Threecast is not about blasphemy, it's every week we choose something to review. Most of the time, it is a movie. Sometimes it is a comic book. Every once in a while, Ricky will talk us into a television show. I think that I Hate Fairyland, a TV show, Ricky?
comic.
It's a comic book.
Yep.
Okay, it's not stupid. I'm just saying. Title, judging it completely by the title, it doesn't sound very good
it's
at all.
awesome, man. It's like you used to read the Mad magazines. It's totally like that. It's wicked.
But then I'm not 350 years old, so.
You know. It's awesome. Don't let the title fool you.
That guy, the Mad magazine guy, freaked me the fuck out when I was little. I was like, dude, that guy's ears.
The guy on the cover. Right?
Is that Mad Max? Is that his name?
I don't even know.
All right, anyways.
I haven't read it since I was like.
All right, anyway, so this week it was my choice. We watched 2012. It was directed by Roland Emmerich. It starred John Cusack and there had some other fairly well-known actors, but I don't know their names.
Yeah, there's I think Tandy was in it, wasn't no?
Yeah, plus
Tandy Newton, or I can't remember her name, but she's in it.
Oh, Danny Glover plays the president.
Yeah.
And he dies just like every president and every Roland Emmerich.
Yeah, and doesn't
except for
the guy who plays who's gonna play Black Panther, he was in it too. Chad Boseman or something. I'm pretty sure he was in it, right? He was the guy who was like rooting.
Scientist?
Yeah, he's a scientist dude who's like rooting to help them get onto the boats, arcs or whatever the hell they're called. right?
Oh,
With the girl was like the president's daughter, and he like liked her. Yeah, I'm
okay.
pretty
Yeah, I
sure.
don't. All right. So let's see. Let's look at that guy's name.
Oh,
His name is Chiwetel Ejiofor.
oh, okay, maybe that's not him then.
Anyways, he's been in some other things.
Yeah,
Um,
but anyways,
yeah. All right.
he's been around.
So basically, if you've never watched a Roland Emmerich film before, basically what he does is he takes any end of the world scenario and just goes to town with it because he loves blowing shit up. He did Independence Day and the new Independence Day, which apparently the second one sucked. He did The Day After Tomorrow. What else has he done? He's pretty much. He did like Godzilla. He did. Let's see here. Some of the other ones that he's done that I've actually Oh, 10,000 BC, which nobody watched. He did Godzilla the series, which was on TV, which I didn't even know they did Godzilla on TV, which apparently was on for 3 years. Holy, the things they put on TV nowadays. Anyways, so if you're familiar with his film style, he likes destroying things that people want to see destroyed. Like in The Day After Tomorrow, he buries the Statue of Liberty in like I don't know 30 feet of snow and ice. Yeah. And in Independence Day, he deliberately destroys the White House, Statue of Liberty, the Empire State Building, everything. In 2012, he destroys the entire west coast of the United States, the White House, the entire world, basically. And basically, if you're unfamiliar with the what was supposed to happen according to the Mayans, the world was supposed to end on the winter solstice of 2012, and that's basically what this movie plays on. That it was actually true, and the sun caused the core of the Earth to heat up so much that the Earth's crust displaced, and caused like flooding and volcanoes and earthquakes and everything. And John Cusack plays like a poor author or whatever, and then there's this whole commentary basically on how if the world were to the end, the only people who are actually going to get saved would be the rich people and like the people from
Elite.
the what is it, the Iran or all the kings and the politicians and all that stuff.
Ultra smart.
Yeah, and I mean, if Vince were here, he'd comment on how it also went through and kind of showed that during these projects or whatever, it also displaced poor people, and they did all the work and stuff like that, and that they were going to get left behind, and this playing on the economics, and I don't know, he probably read something race into it somewhere. But anyways, that's basically what the movie's about. It has the feel good ending where they're on the ark. It turns out they're building arks like Noah, even though at the beginning they think it's like spaceships. And they ride off into the sunset, and it turns out that they actually do let a whole bunch of the poor people on at the end because the John Cusack's character tries prods them on. So that's basically what the movie's about. The reason, all right, so I'll go through and review this first, Ricky, just because mine's fairly easy. The reason why I like it is not because it's necessarily a great story or that it commentates on race and the end of the world and all that stuff. It's just because I like watching Roland Emmerich blow stuff up. The effects in this movie, just like in all Roland Emmerich movies, are fantastic. I mean, literally nobody can destroy things better than he can. It's just really good. So out of total 5, I would give this probably a 3. It's pretty good. All right,
okay.
Ricky.
Yeah, so I've watched this movie before, and like we've said in past episodes that we've done where we review movies, like I have a different taste than most people. So with me, I really like this movie. For me, it wasn't about like the whole idea of, oh, is this ultra realism? Is it? But I mean, even then, it still has some interesting ties. Like you said, I'm sure Vince would have brought it up. that even going forward, if the world were ending, or I mean, it's not really ending because people are gonna live and it's gonna carry on. So it's basically just a new beginning, actually, right?
Well,
But the funny
I mean,
thing,
from a scientific standpoint, I mean, the Earth's crust isn't just going to cool down, like they show in the movie. Like all of a sudden, the sun's going to come up and everything's going to be okay again, and people can still go start to rebuild or whatever. In reality, they'd be living on those arcs for like ever, for a long, long time, because
yeah,
the Earth's crust would continue to be unstable,
yeah.
and there'd be earthquakes and all that shit for forever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, what I mean is that, like,
Sorry.
with if you say, it's ending, that means basically
Yeah,
poof,
I
all
understand.
humans are gone. That's that, fade to black, we're done. You know what I mean? As long as one person lives, it's not. It's more of a big rebirth. I don't
Well,
know.
I'm pretty sure
Hey,
they
let's
need
borrow
two
from
people.
DC. It's okay. I guess they need two people, right?
I mean, unless
But
they're
I
gonna
mean,
they're asexual and just start, that, or maybe they lay eggs or something. I don't know. Maybe.
But it's just funny that you would in a rebirth, right? You would think, okay, we're gonna need the smartest people. We're gonna need good people. Like if you think about it, when you're starting fresh, you don't want to do all the mistakes that you did the first time around, right? But the funny thing is that won't happen because it's the people who can pay for the privilege. And so who ends up being on there? Yes, you have your world leaders who, sure, some are good, not all of them. And you have your, scientists and doctors who are good and smart and blah, blah, blah. But the majority are the people who can pay to be there, which are not, necessarily your good people. So in a if in fact it's just gonna repeat the whole thing again because it's gonna start over fresh and they're gonna be like, oh great, now we have a chance to make new money. You know what I mean? It's just an interesting take of what can actually happen. But yeah, for me, I loved it. I loved, there's this scene where he's like flying the plane and the earth is splitting and the lava is flowing, and he has like kids and he has the wife who, and no one believes him because he'd written about how all this was gonna happen, right? And then there's the part where he knows this Russian, like really rich guy, and so the guy has a ticket to get on the ark, and they like fly in his one of his big planes with his cars in the back, and they drive the Bentley in the air and shit like that. So like for me, I loved it. It's just a really good movie. I would have given it probably an 8 out of 10. It's definitely something that I would watch, which is funny because I also love Day After Tomorrow. I love the
Yeah,
whole
that's a good movie.
idea of that too, right? So, yeah,
Yeah, I like all of his movies, or at least the three that I've seen, uh, regularly, anyways, are all very good. Like I watch Independence Day once a year, obviously
oh
on
yeah,
Independence Day.
yeah.
Or you Canadians, I don't know, I don't think you guys have actually ever declared independence. You say like a queen or something. Um, Damn
Yeah, we have
communists.
an Independence Day.
Is that
Uh,
Canada Day, like July 1st or something?
yeah, it's something like that. I
Because I
mean,
don't know. I just live
basically,
here.
the queen is like a figurehead. Well, I mean, I wasn't really born here. That's the excuse I'm gonna
You're an
roll
implant.
with.
I understand, eh? All right. Anyways, and the Day After Tomorrow is really good. So, Harold Closer did um, the uh, the music for both the 2012 and the Day After Tomorrow, and both of them like really good scores. Um, Not that you care about the music at all, Ricky. That's my
That's
thing.
why we need Vince here so you
Yeah.
guys can talk
Let's
about that.
let's talk for a minute about how Woody Harrelson is maybe the creepiest actor in the history of actors. That
What?
man just
Oh, I love Woody Harrelson, dude. Well, you have to understand that the first thing I ever seen him in is White Men Can't Jump, which is like So that just cemented it for me, right? Like he's one of those actors, like no matter how old he gets, it's like, I just love when he's in the movie. Right.
Yeah, he's creepy. He's very creepy in this movie. Going to the point where he gives us a little bit of plumber action, mooning the camera. Thanks a lot, Woody. We really appreciated that. Frankly, I'm glad he died right after that. It's good. All right, so good movie. I don't know what else he has coming up. I think from Roland Emmerich. Oh my God! There's no way they're doing a third Independence Day movie.
The second one, I think they didn't have Will Smith, right? There was like they tried to play off it, like I think they had like it's fuzzy like from my memory of it, but they had like
the original
his
had
wife in it or something.
Yeah, the original had Will Smith, Jeff Goldblum. What was the president? That's not Bill Paxton? That's the original Independence Day. Well, come on, man. Seriously, why can't I come up with these names? Names are hard, man. It's the same. Oh, the guy who plays the president is yeah, it is Bill Pullman. It is. Good Lord, I told you. I said Bill Paxton. They're both Bills. All right. Anyways, so I don't know. He wasn't. I think he was in the second one, but he didn't really play anything. In the second one, the main character was Jeff Goldblum, who is about, I don't know, 300 years old or so.
I remember him from Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Oh. Hold on to your butts. So who remembers that Samuel L. Jackson was in Jurassic Park? Like, he's just the guy who's there. Like, normally when Samuel L. Jackson's in a movie, he's like, he's the name in the movie. Samuel L. Jackson was just a dude in that movie.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Anyways.
He's just one of the things he can put on his IMDb page.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to the picks of the week. There was something else I was going to talk about this, but I don't remember what it was, so it doesn't matter. Let's move on to the pick of the week. Ricky, why don't you give us your pick of the week? And I'm vetoing you talking about Apple stuff. Don't just talk about Linux. Be a nerd. Don't talk about Apple stuff.
No, that's not allowed. I'll be quick with the Apple stuff. I'll be quick. So my first choice is going to be Linux. I've tried over the years to get into it. I don't know if now I'm a little bit older in my computing knowledge or I'm just a little more disciplined or whatever. But I mean, we've been talking about it, but I love Linux is the shit, man. Like I started running Kali, I think probably going on 2 weeks now. But it's just, I love running it, and I would say to anyone that is more adept at computing, you definitely should run Linux. But I mean, Linux has grown. It has a GUI now, graphical user interface. But go beyond that. Learn the commands and the command line interface, because it's something. It's very cool. It's very
All right, so I have a couple things to say about that. Linux is way cooler if you don't have to run it every day, right?
Yeah.
Because after a while, it just becomes another operating system.
Yeah.
And I think the main reason why I have that is because I work with a custom distro every day. But that being said, when you install a new Linux distro, like say you go out and get the newest release of Ubuntu or SUSE or Red Hat or any of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of distros out there. I mean,
CentOS.
Literally, Ubuntu is like the Windows 10 of Linux, right? Because it's the easiest to install. It has, basically anybody can do it. It's just like, I mean, it's not quite as easy installing as Windows 10, but you can go through and it has all the graphical user interface that you'd expect, from being able to update the operating system to an app store to all that stuff. And then there's and then it just kind of all the distros kind of devolve from there depending on how much of a nerd you are. You know what I mean? So there are many different graphical interfaces for Linux, right?
Yeah.
So there's like Genome, there's
Yeah, there's
KDE.
KDE.
Those are obviously the two big ones, but there's many more, just depending on how adept at doing things you are, because many of them are much more reliant on learning the command line and things like that. Whereas like Ubuntu is all about it's basically Ubuntu has the command line obviously, and there's a lot of stuff that you can do on it, just like with all the rest of the Linux distros. But there's also the GUI there that will actually go through and let you do that.
Yeah.
So yes, Linux, awesome.
Yeah.
Install it.
Yeah. But I would
at your
say
own.
also though, if you're using Mac OS or Windows or something, it is good, like if you're starting out with Linux, to actually use it every day, because that's how you get more into it. You know what I mean? So
Don't be afraid to like Google. I mean, Google
yeah,
if you get stuck, because I mean there's
yeah,
like answers everywhere on the internet. There's
everywhere. Or
tutorials and everything,
if you're
tips and
looking
tricks,
for a certain thing,
cheats,
like
and yeah.
if you want to know the resolution, just Google resolution Linux
Or if you're looking for like an
command or
application to
something.
like say you
Yeah,
want to replace Microsoft Word, there's
yeah,
like Open Office, there's
yeah.
NetOffice,
How to install it? Like
yeah,
it's just kick ass.
how to set up drivers like for your printer if you have to,
Yeah,
for your router, getting installed for like if you have like a Bluetooth connection on your
yeah,
computer, like that. It's all on the internet. All you got to do is be
yeah,
able to like to
yeah,
look for these how tos, and
yeah,
it's all over the place.
yeah.
We're
And
so nerds.
my other choice, which Matt was trying to veto, is
Apple fanboy, Apple fanboy.
is Watch OS 3. So I have an Apple Watch, and the thing about it, since I've had it, I love it. I get my notifications, whatever. But I've always thought that the response back to iMessage on the watch, it wasn't up to standards. Like responding via voice was just never good enough. It wouldn't pick up exactly what you were saying. You couldn't edit it. You'd have to take 4 or 5 times to actually redo what you're saying. Like in that time, you get frustrated, you just pull your phone out and you do it. So it's like becomes an actual waste of time. But WatchOS 3 has Scribble, and I'm telling you, for me personally, maybe it's, I think a lot of people are going to like it, but maybe they won't. But for me personally, like I have a friend who let me use his watch with Scribble on it, and it is the shit. Like you're able to just write on the screen. It's so much faster than talking and it recognizes, like you're able to write. You don't have to wait for it to detect the letter you're writing. You can just keep writing on the screen and it will actually pick everything up. Once you get used to it, it's really like it's so easy, and it's I like it. So that's
I
my
will just
next
say
choice.
this about the Apple announcement today, and we don't really have to talk about this, but $150 for a pair of earphones from Apple that only work with the iPhone and the iPad is ridiculous. Okay, if they were using just standard Bluetooth and I could use those things with other things, that wouldn't be bad. But the fact that they're using proprietary technology that's only going to be able to use on Apple products is just never going to fly. Not with people who work cross-platform and have Android devices or Windows devices that they would also like to use their headphones on. You know what I mean? It's the same reason why you could never go out and buy a pair of headphones that are just Lightning capable. Like they don't have the 3.5 millimeter audio jack. Because what are you going to do when you want to decide to use those on a Windows machine or on anything else that's not an Apple product? It's just completely asinine. Anyways, that's just my complete opinion. I know Ricky disagrees. I don't care because he's a fanboy. So my pick of the week is an app for Android. I'm not sure if it's on iOS or not. It probably is, but there are similar apps on iPhone for sure. I love Reddit. Okay, so Reddit is a social network where people share news stories, photos, interesting things. Everything's on Reddit. But I don't really care about any of it. The funniest thing you can see in the world is to go on Reddit and read the comments of some of the political stories or science stories, pretty much anything on there. If you want to read some pure free comedy, go on Reddit and read the comments. Don't get involved because that's a firestorm and you're going to die. But anyways, if you want to do that, anyway, so I was looking for a good app for Reddit, and I came across Boost.
Okay.
It's a very well designed Android Reddit app. There's several other ones on Android, and there's many on iOS as well. They're all very well designed. I like Boost because it has themes, so you can go through and I really like the dark themes. Anyways, I'm pretty sure it's free. It may have like an in-app purchase where you have to get rid of the ads. I can't remember. Usually, I just go once I know I'm going to use an app, I just go through and spend the money to get rid of the ads. Anyways, funniest thing you can do: go on Reddit, read the comments. You'll laugh your freaking ass off because those people are. I mean, sometimes they're just downright mean, but other times they're hilarious. I mean, it's like freaking anarchy. It's awesome. All right. Anyways, that is it for us this week. Next week, our next episode, which we will be recording on the 21st of September, will be, if Vince is here and not in some witness protection program, we'll be listing the 2 best horror movies we've ever seen. And as I told Ricky, I don't think I have 2 good ones.
Yeah. Right now, I'm thinking Day After Tomorrow is mine. I think that's not the what's that, Afterlife or Afterbirth or whatever, After Earth, the one with Jaden Smith in it.
Yeah, all right. So I've seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is scarier and shit because there's a have you ever seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Ricky?
Nope.
All right, so there's a recent, a fairly recent one. It's within the last, say, I don't know, 15 years or so. I can't remember who the chick is. It's like I don't know. It doesn't matter who the chick is. But there's one thing that they're like in the middle of like the Texas desert or whatever.
Yeah, isn't it Paris Hilton?
No, I don't think so. But anyways, like the spotlight goes on like the villain or whatever, and he's wearing the girlfriend's boyfriend's face, like his skin. Like, oh my god, that's freaking creepy, man. And like towards the end of the movie, he like hangs like one of his victim up on like a meat hook, and then he takes him down and rubs salt in it. Like, oh, come on, man.
That's gotta kill.
Anyways, it's a terrible movie. Anyways, so if we really have to do that, maybe we can talk Vince out of doing it, maybe actually choosing a movie for us to review. Because I don't think we'll get very far with best horror movies because I don't see much in that. Anyways, that is coming up next. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can follow us at the 3Cast on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at MTWB. Ricky is Ricky_Williams1. Vince, who's the guy who's not here, is VWHY. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/3cast. As far as I know, we are on iTunes now.
Okay, under the 3Cast?
The 3Cast.
Okay.
And I believe that it's the 3Cast all spelled out in like words, not the number 3.
Okay.
But I haven't received an email from Apple yet, so it may not be up there. I don't know.
I'll do my search after this.
If it's not, let me know. We'll keep.
Yeah.
I don't know. Apparently, I don't know what the hell I'm doing when it comes
Tim
to
Cook.
But we are on YouTube. All of our things are on YouTube. So if you actually do want to listen to us, we're not just talking to ourselves here. We are on an internet medium somewhere. This isn't completely a waste of our time.
Who cares? As long as we're having fun.
Now, just to let you know, they're getting rid of Google Hangouts. Kinda, they're moving everything over to YouTube. So the way we started this off now, if you want to watch us live, I will be tweeting out a link again every Wednesday at 9:15. Every other Wednesday at 9:15 p.m. So if you want to watch live, you can. And anyways, that is it for us this week. We'll see you in 2 weeks with the best horror movies ever.
Possibly.
And just to let you know, we're not in a horror movie. That's not what we're doing here. All right, anyways. See you later.
And we are out.